So what happened, at least what's in the public domain, I can't say everything I know, is that a 15-year-old boy stabbed repeatedly a 13-year-old boy about 10 minutes to 9 while they're on their way to school. The boy actually survived his injuries, and last I heard is that I think he'd been released from intensive care. So we believe that he will survive. And the two fatalities actually were in Canning Town. So two teenage boys were killed in Canning Town over the sort of the last, I think, week altogether. And obviously there have been other sort of knife attacks and stabbings, and a young man was killed in the island as well a few months ago as well. And it's only in this part of Tower Hamlets, sort of stabbings are relatively rare. And I could say for my first 7 years as a counsellor, I don't think we had any stabbings for the first 6 years actually on the southern part of the Isle of Dogs, and then suddenly we've had like sort of 4 of them in just over a year, including one fatality. So for us this is really unusual. I know it's less unusual for areas more to the north. So obviously locally there's been a huge amount of comment about and what we can do about it, and on all of the debates that you would expect about the causes and what's kind of what the reasons are for this happening, whether it's sort of not enough police officers and the police cuts, or police stations being closed, or blaming parents, so all the things talking about broken windows theory and different views on what's causing it. But one of the things that gets talked about a lot in England when we talk about knife crime is how Glasgow dealt with some of their serious sort of gang and knife crime issues, and they basically dealt with it as a public health issue. And what that means is, rather than kind of just looking at punishment and policing as a solution, you kind of look at sort of other things to try and treat the problem, and also particularly that you treat it as a long-term issue. It's not like you're going to crack down this weekend and